Hello and welcome back everyone, my name is Kahenkio and the game is Smite Tactics. Today we will be doing a little bit of a tutorial to get to know this game a little better, so let's jump straight into it.
Ride and watch hentai all the time with my soul is tormented by a succubus. Call assist, pencil dripping from the way I spit. Fell in love with this, sis got music, now she in my...
In the first part of this tutorial, we will learn about the basics, about cards, movement, attacking, and returning damage. This is your card. You can select it and you can place it anywhere around your column. Unit cards have mana cost found on the top left, an attack value found on the bottom left, and a health value found on the bottom right. When you deploy a unit to the battlefield, they cannot move or attack until your next turn, unless there is specified under text under each card that specifies that it can. Right now, I don't have any other moves that I can do, so I have to end my turn. Enemy units, when deployed, have the same exact thing that your units had the previous turn. When deployed, they cannot move or attack, but they can still return the damage. Right about now, I have a ranged minion that I can deploy on the battlefield. There are two types of units, melee units and ranged units. Ranged units have an iron icon indicating instead of a sword icon going through their attack number. By default, melee units can only attack adjacent units. Adjacent includes diagonal as well. And ranged units can attack up to 3 tiles away. 3 tiles away means 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3 accordingly. So you have to get close to the enemy here to attack. And they will return the damage indicated on their thing onto your unit. They always return unless they're stunned. Same goes for your units. If you are attacked by another melee, you will return the damage. As you can see, the marksman, that is a ranged unit, can attack from a distance, from here or there, the enemy, and since I'm not adjacent to that enemy, they cannot return the damage to us. The main objective is to destroy the enemy stone, and as you can see at this specific training section, the enemy stone has only 6 health. In other values, in other games, in every other game versus another player, your stone will have 25, as will have the enemy. Your objective is either to kill the stone or draw out the game long enough for the enemy to have less cards than you, and when that happens, the enemy stone will start ticking damage based on the cards the enemy can't pull. Besides melee units and ranged units, there are also leader abilities and spell cards, so let's check those out as well. As in Pokemon Duel, each time you start a game, the game will randomly decide who goes first. You will select some cards that you want to replace, and the ones that go second will receive a plate that gives them extra mana for that specific turn. Each player starts with 2 mana, and the leader ability usually costs 2 mana to begin with. There are some leader abilities that you can swap up to cost 3 mana instead, and there are some cards that you use to make your leader ability cost 0 at all. As for Odin in particular, Odin has a warrior spawn that has charge and can attack instantaneously after you spawn it. Odin is really good at rushing enemy stones, such as the rush decks in Pokemon Duel, because he has the ability to spawn very many minions really fast and then buff them up to an extreme extent with buffing cards. That, of course, given the fact that you do have those plates and you can do something about it. Spell cards, although, can be played to trigger an effect and do not have an attack and health value like unit cards. Spell can only do many different things, including summoning units. Which means we press OK and we will do 2 damage to this. You also have to be wary about the enemy spell cards. If you know what you can expect from the enemy, shut the fuck up! You have always to be wary of the enemy cards as well, because if they can annihilate your entire team with one spell, you're going to be in a great disadvantage. As I mentioned before, some units have a subtype indicated at the bottom of the card. Many of the subtypes have special interactions with other cards. Thor in particular have a charge and gains +1 damage for each adjacent enemy unit. So basically speaking, if you're in a pile of enemies and you attack, your attack will rise a lot.
There is battle to be met.
And that marks the second part of the tutorial. Let's jump straight into the third one. The third part of the tutorial is about Warcries and passive abilities of units. Let's check that out. As I mentioned before, when going second, you do get a free mana potion card, which will increase your mana for that turn by 1. Meaning, if you select this one, many units have special type of ability called Warcry. Warcry effects are triggered upon arrival of that unit on the field. But note, there are gods such as Honor that blocks the Warcry use of other units. Therefore, whenever Honor is on the field on the enemy side, you are not allowed to use Warcries. Therefore, your thing text here that says Warcry is nullified and it does not happen. I will go ahead and spawn the Warcry of this dude because that's what the game wants me to do. Note that some plates, such as Elder Harpy, are auto-activated their Warcry. Some others, as I did earlier with Chaos Spawn, do need manual interactions with it. Right about now, we go ahead and we will attack the stone, because that's what the game wants us to do, and since we don't have any more moves, we will end the turn right there. And since now probably we all have learned the basics, let's just watch the match that I have to play versus this Ra, and I will explain in detail why I do every move I do, but I do need to win in the end, so let's get right into it. Right about now, I will deploy my Thor with charge, and I will attack this guy, because he goes +1 HP every turn that goes by. White Tiger, as you saw there that I killed at the start of your turn, gain +0/+1. And I will also kill this spawn because he's now eligible to kill my Thor, and I don't want my Thor to die, not just yet. The Sobek that was just spawned is very important to die, because whenever a friendly is healed, he gains +1/+1. Ra's ability allow him to restore 1 health to all friendlies in a column. A column is a straight line, so he can basically heal his summoning stone and give Sobek +1/+1. The +1/+1 means he will get +1 to damage and +1 to health, and that will be a really hard deal to deal with later on. What I can do, I can either silence him so that ability doesn't go forth, or I can just kill him with my Thor so I don't have to worry about him at all. And I believe that I'm gonna kill him, and then on the next turn I will deploy myself Ratatoskr and Fire Imp. And Fire Imp, because Fire Imp can attack immediately because of the Fire Imp's ability that has charge. Units with charge can go ahead and do whatever they want instantaneously, such as Thor's ability has charge. As for Ratatoskr, whenever this unit attacks, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. That could be someone with 1 HP, that could be the enemy's stone, that could be someone with 10 HP. It will do the damage and that unit will probably die. As for 1, as for 2, right about now, I do not want my Thor to lose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and attack this stone. And since I don't want my Ratatoskr to die either, but I can kill this guy, I'm going to go ahead and attack it. Right about now, I will lose the Fire Imp, but I do have my soldier that I can sacrifice for the life of the Sobek. And right about now, I can attack again the stone for 1 damage and 1 extra damage because of the ability of the Ratatoskr. The lion has 2 HP and 2 attack, so any one of my units will probably die attacking it. I don't want Thor to die, so I'm gonna go ahead and kill the stone right here. And I will do not the Mayhem just yet, I will spawn another unit. Because the Mayhem ability here, that Odin has in particular, does randomly 1 damage to enemies for every friendly unit in play. I just need to do 1 damage to this tiger, because then I can sacrifice my little lamb here, go ahead and kill it, and attack with Ratatoskr for 3 damage on the enemy's stone. Selecting targets and priority kills is very important, but don't forget that you can instantaneously win a game by just attacking the enemy stone, so if you can ignore that and just go ahead and end your turn by doing whatever you were gonna do, or kill the unit and just not worry about it at all. Right about now, I do believe that I can end the game because I do have a Thor pulled, and he has charge and has exactly 2 damage to end the enemy stone. And yes, this was a bot, but this just displays how prioritizing targets, killing enemy units, or killing the stone can either delay the game or win it for you. As for me, I'm Kahenkio. This was the first look and tutorial of Smite Tactics. Hope you enjoyed. On the next episode, we're going to be checking out Zeus, the god of thunder of the Greek pantheon.
Valhalla beckons you. Today I fight not for Olympus, but for myself.
And as always, have a nice day.